Well, hello there, Taurus. It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing your February 2023 Career and Money Tarot reading. So we'll take a look at the overall energies with the Oracle cards, and then we'll move to the Tarot for more details. So let's see what we have here. Let's see what is coming up for you. Ascending the mountain. Keep going forward. Okay, so I like that energy. I feel like you may be hitting some type of an obstacle in your career and money sector at this time, but it's letting you know, it's confirming that you are on the right path. Just to keep going, you know, that this is an energy of letting you know that this is where you are meant to be. Deepening. Once you're on earth for enough lifetime, your old soul will begin to long for non-grasping, detachment, and surrender. They bring the peace of God. Wow. Okay, so I feel like, you know, there is this energy of really stepping into, you know, the wisdom that you have from your sense of an old soul. So as you're ascending this mountain, okay, it's about kind of like going back into the wisdom that you hold within, instead of perhaps trying to seek out a lot of advice from external people or situations, doing a lot of research, right? It's kind of like, okay, wait a minute. Because whether you realize it or not, whether it's in this lifetime or a previous lifetime, you've actually walked a similar path. So it's pulling up that energy, that wisdom that you have from the past in order to help you navigate this trail that you are on at this time. And I do feel like for some of you, you know, you're kind of like, it's almost a sense of having deja vu. You know, have you ever had that experience where you're like, I've been here somewhere, or you meet somebody and you're kind of like, I know them from somewhere, right? A lot of times that's really just because we're tapping into an experience that we've had either in a previous life or perhaps, you know, so long ago, decades ago, perhaps, that you kind of, you know, lost track of it in your mind. It's kind of like stepping back into that energy and accessing that. I really love this energy. Very spiritual. Yeah, I feel like you're getting a message, but it's a message. I feel like you're receiving a message of peace after a long time of conflict. Yeah, a consciousness of lack. You know, it's about doing those things that you need to do on a daily basis in order to keep conflict, your mind. I feel like there is this energy of the monkey mind, right? Of fears popping up, of looking at situations, not from a viewpoint of love, but out of fear. So I really feel like there is this message from your spirit guides, from your angels, just to let you know you are on the right path. Maybe some of you are really kind of going within, and you're there's this sense of, I'm not sure I'm in the right place or at the right time. And yet at the same time, when you go deep within, you tap into that knowledge that you have deep within you, you realize, no, I am in the right place. Okay, let's pull a few more cards here. Yeah, I feel like you're walking away from a situation, or you're thinking of walking away. You have the Queen of Pentacles on you're holding back. There's something that you really want to accomplish with the Queen of Pentacles, but you're holding back. And one of the reasons is because you're longing for something that you've had in the past. So it's, okay, this is, you know, your career and money sector. It's a little bit like you may have taken a new job, but you're missing the old people or the familiarness of a past company or the people that you worked with, right? It's like stepping into a new energy, right? And it's kind of like the learning curve that you're going through, but you're trying to compare it to something that you've experienced already, or your past job or your past financial situation, right? But it's not about comparing it to something that you previously have experienced recently. It's about going back further than that. You have been on a similar track. You're just trying to compare it. It's almost a sense of trying to compare it to perhaps somebody else that you know that's going through a similar thing or has gone through a similar thing. You're trying to compare yourself or the situation that you're in to something that you have experienced recently, but it's really something that is much older than that. Wow, really kind of an interesting energy. You're allowing something that has happened recently to kind of like that experience, to project that onto this new experience. But you're projecting something that is holding you back from really experiencing something in a new way. So let's go to the tarot. Yeah. Because you have the Eight of Cups. I feel like you're trying to walk away from something. The problem here is that I think you're repeating a past situation, but it's like you're repeating something that you have already learned the lesson of. It's about looking at that and recognizing that you're just repeating a familiar pattern that you have had. So in other words, your obstacles are obstacles you have overcome already. It kind of reminds me, I play the piano, and when I was a child and I was learning how to play the piano, right? I had this teacher, and part of my practice routine was that I had to play a piece, okay? And, at the time I was like in the 3rd or 4th grade maybe. But so the pieces weren't very long, but I had to play the piece perfectly 10 times in a row. Okay, that was my practice. Okay, well, it was really, it was really kind of tedious, to be honest. I really was starting to lose interest in it because I had to have like 10 pennies in a bowl, and then every time I played it correctly, I could move a penny into an empty bowl, right? But then if I played it wrong the next time, I had to take the penny back and put it into the original bowl. So I felt like I was moving pennies back and forth. When we're first starting to learn, right, there's more of an experience in learning new notes, right, or new ways of playing songs. But she wouldn't let me go to the next song until I could play it 10 times correctly. It really kind of stunted my own growth as a piano student, right? I mean, my mother was finally, okay, we have to move on from this. My mother probably was getting really tired of hearing the same song played so many times, right? My mother was probably, okay, let's move on to the next. Let's learn another note or something, right? And I feel like you may have people in your life that are kind of that same way. Taurus, how many times are you going to do this? It's about tapping into that deep knowing. Wait a minute, I've already learned this lesson. I don't have to repeat this lesson again. The reason, though, that sometimes we want to repeat a lesson, sometimes there is about repeating a lesson and going deeper each time, right? I feel like it's time for you to move on, right? It's about, okay, how many times are you going to go over this? There's almost like this familiar, oh, well, if I stay in this pattern, right? If I stay repeating this lesson, then I don't have to really experience any new lessons. It's almost kind of like, an old record, like a vinyl record. They're showing me on an old, turntable. And I know I'm aging myself here, but when the needle would get stuck in a certain groove, right? You would just hear that one little piece of the song over and over and over again. It's kind of like, okay, it's time to move on. And it's time for me to move on here too. I know you're probably saying that. All right, so let's take a look at your area of resistance. Yeah, it's allowing something to end, right? With the Death card. It's like it's time to let this end. It's a time to bring in a change in the wind. It's time to go towards something new. It's almost like you're trying to repeat. I'll have to say I have a very good friend. She is a Taurus. I will say that, and I love her dearly. She travels quite extensively, right? but she goes back to the same place over and over and over again. And I'm always, when she liked to try somewhere new, and she's like, well, I know those places. That's the key. She feels comfortable going back to the same places over and over again. There is something about nostalgia, right? I get that. I have a beach I've been going to since I was a child, and I get that. I love to go to that beach every summer, right? There's something like that, but I also enjoy experiencing new beaches, right? I also enjoy traveling to other places. And I feel like this is almost kind of like this energy of understanding. Yeah, you have the Emperor, the Strength card. It's almost like you're fearful of going in some new direction, changing some pattern of behavior, because it's kind of like, I know this. I know this pattern. So I'm comfortable, even if you get hurt over and over again, right? It's about standing in your truth, seeing what is holding you back, and understanding, okay, you've learned this. You have alchemized this. There's not a need to kind of keep repeating this pattern, this lesson over and over again. Oh my goodness, yeah, because here's your advice. I didn't even see this. Never ending story. Repeating the pattern over and over again. It's time for you to go have a new experience, something different. Accomplishing something new, knowing that you can be victorious in breaking yourself out of this rut. Perhaps looking at, because it says here that your soul is longing for you to detach and surrender. By detaching and surrendering from this lesson, perhaps it's about going deep and understanding, why is it that I want to repeat this? This would, come into play if, let's say, in your career or money sector, if you continue to take the same type of job or work, okay, because we had the Emperor on the bottom, work for the same type of employer, right? Because you're comfortable with somebody that maybe is like the Emperor, that is, really strong and demanding, because then you don't really have to worry about thinking about new ideas or something, because the Emperor just tells you what to do, right? All right. Well, there is something that you can learn from working from an Emperor like that, but there's also a sense of that you could learn from perhaps having a boss that is kind of gives you more autonomy, right? That allows you to create, to, step into that. That's a little bit more fearful though, right? Because you have to put yourself into it. Or perhaps you'd really like to start your own business, but it's kind of like, yeah, but when I work for the Emperor, then everything is safe, right? I know I'm getting a paycheck. I know I have this retirement account, you know what you have, where if you go onto this new journey, you're kind of like, okay, I don't know where all that's coming from. It's understanding that your fear of something new, of just learning something new, is preventing you from stepping into something new. So let's see what we have here. And I have my deck upside down. So yeah, look, you have the Empress. I feel like for some of you, you're going in a new direction. You're stepping into this energy of starting your own business with the Empress here, creating something new, of understanding. You're moving from the energy of either like working for an emperor, right? Or having a business. It could also be that maybe if you have your own business, it's like you have a franchise or something that you sell that you're not creating, so you could be like a middleman or something like that. The Empress is somebody that creates new things from new ideas, right? This is totally different. It's out of your wheelhouse. And yet at the same time, I want you to know you have done this perhaps in a past life. Your soul is wanting to tap into that knowledge of being able to create new things. Yeah, this this is scary. But the divine is there. With the Moon card, it means the divine is bringing in opportunities and situations that will help you to see the success that you are looking for in this, and to have the strength to go after what you really and truly desire, your heart truly desires. To know, okay, Does it take some concerted effort to either in your mindset, changing your mindset, or changing your actions, right, to get out of that rut? They're coming back to that vinyl record, right? You're in that rut. Okay, I remember when I was a teenager, and the needle would get stuck in that one groove, right? You would take your finger and you would just tap it gently, and then it would go to the next groove. Right? It's that type of energy. It's not like you have to take a lot of action, but you have to top yourself. You have to get yourself out of this rut. It's almost like the universe is saying, look, Taurus, we have all of this in place for you. It's about stepping into that energy of tapping yourself, getting out of your own rut. Some ways you can get out of your own rut. Move your furniture around in your house. Travel a different way to and from work, right? Seriously, go in a different direction. Wear clothing that is totally different than what you normally wear. Eat different foods. Go to a new restaurant. Travel to a new place, even if it's just a day trip. Go to a little town that's near you. Go, look at a new museum. Go to a new art gallery. Try a new hobby. It's about putting yourself in new experiences will help you to break that rut. It'll be that little tap, okay? And then embracing, taking that energy of newness also into your career and money sector. Wow, really, really interesting. This is bringing you so much more peace, and actually a sense with the Queen of Pentacles. I love that energy because it's really a sense of loving yourself for trying new things, It really is. Wow, what a really interesting energy. All right, am I letting fear stop me? And this is your soul truth card. It literally popped out of the deck. Are you experiencing a mountain of fear? Look at that mountain, right? There's mountains in that picture. Are you experiencing a mountain of fear right now? Are you stalling, freezing, or giving up? The juicy secret is that you are the boss of fear. You are unstoppable, but it's up to you to see that by taking action. Today, be brave and do it scared. Choose one fear and move through it. You are in need of a hero, so that is who you will become. Yeah, I really encourage you, to step out of your comfort zone, right? Maybe tonight you go to a restaurant you have never eaten at, right? And just enjoy the experience, right? And when you may feel fearful, oh my goodness, I don't know. What do people wear at that restaurant? I don't know. What kind of food do they have? It's like, no, I'm just going to experience it. It's one meal. Even, I went to a dinner the other night with a girlfriend of mine, and we went to this, it was totally out of our comfort zone type of restaurant, right? And the food was not something either one of us enjoyed, but we came out of it laughing because we were like, okay, we experienced something different, It was a different, ethnic type of food that we had never experienced before. And we were like, okay, we've experienced that. And it really was just kind of like not worrying about, oh, how much does it cost? And do I like it? And, all of that. It was just kind of like, no, we're just going to go and have fun and experience something new. So I encourage you to go and experience something new today. It will help you to break this rut that you may have in your career and money sector at this time. And Taurus, I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. And I hope to see you again really soon. I wish you so much love and light. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.